Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about the moon sextile or trine Uranus in Synastry. Now, first off, the unconscious side and the inner personality, which is the moon, may be in harmony and be compatible with the Uranus person's goals and aspirations. Let's say if the Uranus person has their Uranus in Capricorn, those goals and aspirations can be connected with accounting, dentistry, information technology, masonry. It could be general, mundane work, business, politics, government work. Um, Another thing too about the synastry aspect is that the moon person may really care about the Uranus person's future. The Uranus person has their Uranus and Libra say that future can be connected with, could be collaborating with others on projects and endeavors, something with art, acting. It could be some position associated with negotiation, arbitration. It could be working in a field associated with the law, such as being a paralegal, judge, bailiff, or attorney, as some examples. Um, Now, also too, the relationship too between the Moon and Uranus person in this case can have a good balance of doing things that are connected with the past, nostalgic, introverted, home-related activities, and ones that are new and doing things that are new and innovative. Could be doing things, sometimes in the more, traditional sense, and then sometimes doing things in that more, unique, unorthodox, type of manner. Um, the moon person, may, readily, listen because the moon is receptive and it's about listening. So the moon person may easily listen to those ingenious, innovative ideas of the Uranus person that he or she is expressing. And the moon person, may nurture and really be, protective, of the Uranus person, doing so without being overly smothering and giving that Uranus person, still enough freedom, to do what he or she wants. I mean, if this, especially, say, if this is a romantic connection, if this is a situation where you're talking about a significant other scenario, an intimate relationship, it's important to have that balance, to have, the moon person, nurture and be around the Uranus person from time to time, enough to show that he or she cares, but allow the Uranus person that independence and freedom that is needed as well. And this is another thing about the synastry aspect too, is that the Uranus person may very willingly, altruistically help the moon individual with home-related matters when necessary, and do so, in a way where there's no complaining or this is an arduous task, I don't want to do this. The moon, person, likely, I mean, the thing about this is that you should say, the Uranus person may be encouraging toward the moon person to move forward and make sure that the moon person is not just constantly dwelling in the past or lamenting over past grievances, things that were negative in the past, and not let it impact his or her future. And the thing about this too, um, and also with the Uranus person encouraging the moon person to move forward, it may be doing so by really conveying to the moon person that he or she can encourage by encouraging that side, the unconscious side, the inner, what's connected with the inner personality in the unconscious side of the moon person. I mean, let's say, for example, if the moon person has their moon in Aquarius, it could be, by encouraging that person to be innovative, to be very unique, pioneering, doing things, sometimes, allowing him or her to be the nonconformist, when necessary, when he or she thinks it's okay to do so. Be, you're just somebody that's very unique. And, let's say the moon person has their moon in the zodiac sign Cancer. It can be, really encouraging more the moon person, moving forward, by doing, could be something, in a Cancerian profession, such as like something with real estate, home renovation, remodeling, restoration, plumbing, laundry, and doing something, that's connected, with the qualities of the zodiac sign Cancer, such as being caring, nurturing, protective, um, going into, doing something, maybe associated with history, as well, and being dedicated, dedicated, tenacious in whatever he or she is going to do in the future. Now, the thing too, um, it could also be if the moon person is very is very introverted. The Uranus person may help the moon person in actually going out and meeting more people and going to places where people congregate and where there's more people integrating his or herself with society more. Now, as I've stated in my earlier, natal chart videos, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on that alone, because the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. And the same applies to synastry aspects as well. One synastry aspect certainly isn't going to make or break a connection, and the moon sextile or trine Uranus in synastry is no exception. And you have, in synastry charts, you're generally going to have a plethora of aspects between person A and person B. You can have, some aspects that can offset a negative one, and some that might offset a positive one to some degree. Now, the moon sextile or trine Uranus in synastry is auspicious. It's good for doing, could be, two people doing new things around the home, and having, that balance, doing things, that are, introverted, and doing things or more nostalgic, or doing, you know, and doing things that are more unorthodox as well, having that balance. And the Uranus person may allow the moon person to freely express emotions and feelings about things without worrying about criticism or ridicule. But let's say that you have two people have the moon sextile trine Uranus in synastry, but also let's say that moon person has their moon, making an adverse aspect, a square or opposition to the Uranus person's Pluto. Then you have, the Pluto person may have may try to control the moon person's emotions a little bit. It could be an aspect of emotional manipulation as well. And the moon person may be a little more fearful of expressing the emotions more so than the typical moon sextile or trine Uranus synastry aspect. Now, that doesn't eradicate the description, the delineation, the interpretation of the moon sextile trine Uranus aspect. That could modify it to some degree. The basic interpretation of that synastry aspect is still the same. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.